Hello, it's Hermit here, and it is Saturday night, and I am going for a little walk. I need to go and do a little errand, but it means that I've been having a hermit day today, which means I literally, if I can, stay in my pajamas. I finished the third season of Sex Education, which was really cool. If you haven't watched it, I really recommend it. And I can't quite believe that we've got to the end of season 3 and Maeve and Otis have still not got together properly. I was quite disappointed. Also disappointed to hear that Sex Education season 4 isn't coming until early 2023. At least Bridgerton series 2 is waiting for me. But I do like to have a little break in between Netflix series because I do get quite into them, and I like to have a little pause, a little spaciousness in between, so I will do that. But yeah, it is Saturday night. I've never really been out in my pyjamas before, I don't think. I was just saying to Tom, maybe I should put my sunglasses on and pretend I'm like a celebrity walking around in my pyjamas and sunglasses. I think I've just seen, like, when I used to listen to look at like teenage magazines. There always used to be, pictures of celebrities in pyjamas. Anyway, that's not what I'm on here to talk about. Oh, I'm feeling funny today. But that was a really lovely hermit day. Anyway, today I want to talk about something which is actually one of the most probably serious topics that us human beings have to navigate. And that is shame. And something that I continue to explore really deeply. It's been, like when I think about shame, I often think about Brené Brown and her work. I think about the scale of consciousness where, is it Dr. David? I can't remember. Dr. David Hawkins says that shame is the lowest vibrational emotional state on the scale of consciousness. And today this kind of awareness has been growing over, at least the last 6 months. And I think it's something that is really important and feels what happens. So if you're I'm jumping around all over the place now, I hope you can follow me. So I am a 2-5, I have a 2-5 profile in Cosmic Human Design in my chart, and that is and a 6-2 in the tropical chart. So the 2 line is the hermit line, and these hermit days that I have are really special. After having like a day out with my daughter yesterday, we were in a shopping centre, and in the morning she had a slime making play date with a couple of friends. So there was like a lot of people and activity and fun and like social activity yesterday, and it's been like that for a few days. And these hermit days are really like they've just been so like pivotal for me, allowing myself to take this time where I don't feel bad. I've practiced doing it, and I no longer feel bad when I stay. We're just going past the playground, no one's dying. The kids are going down the slide. and just like literally staying in bed all day if I want to. And when I do that and I just allow myself to follow the guidance of my sacral, just like doing whatever is going to bring me pleasure, which today was that whole Netflix, watching episodes of Netflix, and also eating chips and cheese and grapes. But what I find is that every time I do that, something really magical comes out of it. When I allow myself to take that space and really like nourish that hermit energy, that's a really important part of my makeup and that I really feel deeply connected to. It's really, really special because something always evolves out of it. And so today I feel like it was another piece of this shame story, shame kind of my perspective around shame. And I've been accompanying the children at the school that I co-founded since November, and I've been really exploring respectful parenting for the last few years. Well, longer than that really, but really going deep into it in the last few years. And part of that is a big part of respectful parenting and respectful education is not shaming or judging the children, not speaking to them and interacting with them in a way that means that they don't feel shamed or judged for making mistakes or doing something which doesn't please us. And my daughter has a really big love and passion for making slime, and she generally makes quite a mess when she's making slime and experimenting with slime, and it often, but with increasing like awareness around it, and she's getting much more able to take responsibility for taking care of her space in her bedroom, but it is an ongoing process, and it does cause me quite a bit of discomfort and annoyance when I go into her room and there's she sometimes uses nail varnish to make the colour in the slime, so the nail varnish maybe has spilled, and we have a marble floor which is very porous and it can be quite difficult to get these things out of the floor. And she has this mat which she's meant to put down, but sometimes she forgets. She's 9, so she's got a lot of awareness, but she's still a child and she's still learning. So I went in today and we were going to clear up the slime together before she had a shower. And there was this, so the other day it took me quite a long time to get some purple nail varnish out of the floor. And there was some blue nail varnish, and she had put the mat down today, but she'd put it down kind of halfway through her session, and the blue nail varnish was obviously happened before the mat went down. And I said to her, this is really annoying. This, really annoys me. And I know that you're doing your best, and I know that it's not nice for you to see that I'm annoyed by something that you've done, but I am. And it's kind of normal for people to get annoyed about things, and different people get annoyed by different things, and it's part of the human experience. And she said, and then I said, like, I make so many mistakes, and I know that it can be really annoying, and you can feel really bad when especially when you kind of repeat mistakes that you feel like you're making again. And she said, well, that makes me feel a bit better. And I said, well, the thing is, and then what just came to me, and this has never happened before, because I've always, in the past, I would have thought, I need some stability. Well, I'm making her feel bad. Like, normally I would make an effort to not really tell her the extent of my annoyance in order to help her not experience feeling judged and ashamed of what she'd done. And my purpose was still not to make her feel judged or ashamed of what she'd done, but she was going to feel bad, because whether I pointed it out or not, she was going to feel bad. And maybe me pointing it out and telling her how annoyed I was meant that she felt even worse. But it dawned on me that maybe this is all completely mistaken, but I'm just sharing what happened and how it feels now. But it dawned on me that maybe I've been giving too much power away to shame. Maybe I've been so scared of shaming myself and my children and those children at school that I've been missing a piece of the puzzle. Maybe my job is to facilitate an allowing of what's actually there, which is a feeling of shame, which is a deeply uncomfortable feeling of feeling really shit about yourself. And that's a feeling that I'm very familiar with, and I'm sure like everybody really is very familiar with, because it's such a prevalent like emotional theme in the human experience, and has been for a really long time. But maybe by putting so much emphasis on trying to avoid the experience of shame, we're actually missing the point. And this kind of hit me quite hard today, because I generally, the way I teach human design, the way I relate to and interact with my emotions, is to welcome them in, to really allow them to allow them to be there, and to allow myself to feel completely loved and accepted no matter what emotional state I find myself in. And while I've been doing that, in my own personal experience of shame, whenever I've felt guided and supported to do that, I haven't been doing that with my kids, and I haven't sort of had the awareness that there was this piece that I wasn't necessarily seeing. And it feels really quite powerful. So what happened then was I went on to, I'm just going to walk along the beach a little bit now, so you might be able to hear the sea. So what happened then was I had a chat with Mia and talked to her about how, and the other thing I just want to say is that letting her know that I was annoyed, but also letting her know that I never stop loving her, even if what she's doing annoys me, And that there are going to be things, I mean, we talk about this all the time, that, there are things that annoy each other about people as humans, and that's a normal part of the human experience as well, learning to navigate that. And it doesn't mean that that someone else would be annoyed by the same thing. But learning what annoys each other is part of deepening connection and getting to know each other better. And so this process of feeling bad because someone else has found something that you've done or said annoying is something which is really important to be able to navigate. And what I've realised is that in my relationship with Mia, what I've been doing is trying to protect her from that feeling of feeling bad. And this goes, I need to do it. I feel like there's a whole other podcast episode around this, which is around relationships and the balance between non-violent communication and actually being real about where we're actually at emotionally and energetically, and not trying to dress it up with calm, beautiful, respectful communication when we don't feel it all the way through, because I have a feeling that doesn't really help anybody. So this conversation was kind of part of that. In the past, I would have, given that I was feeling very centered, I wouldn't have really shown my annoyance. I would have, I would have spoken in a calmer way, and I would have not really communicated how I was necessarily feeling all the way through to Mia. So I did. And she actually, once I explained that this was just part of human relationships, it was an aspect of human relationships, and the feeling bad is an aspect of the human experience. And I said to her, what helps me is to allow myself to open to feeling really shit about myself, to feeling really bad, and allowing myself to feel like it's safe to feel all of that. And then we kind of just sat in that energy for a bit. We sat in the kind of discomfort of that. And I helped her. I was cleaning, and we were both together during the cleaning experience. But obviously it wasn't really about that. And then afterwards she had a shower, and I was just sitting with her while she was having her shower. And it was I had this awareness that I'm just sharing with you now. Why have I been, saying welcome in the fear, feel the fear. Fear is there to be felt. Fear is there to be open to. Oh, and that's what I was saying before, the way I teach human design. I don't say when you experience frustration as a generator, that's your not self. So it's your invitation to, it's your sign that you're out of alignment, and now you've got to change something so that you can come back into alignment. No, for me, when you feel frustrated, it's a sign that you're ready for your next interaction with frustration, and probably a deepened level of satisfaction the other side of it, but not necessarily. It's about opening to what is. It's about allowing what is. So having supported Mia to open up to feeling really shitty and ashamed in her body, rather than trying to protect her from it, meant that something shifted. You feel it, it shifted in her energy and my energy, and I had this awareness, and I was like, whoa. And of course it's like this. Of course, why are we putting shame in another box? Why are we interacting with shame differently? Why are we scared of anybody feeling shame? Because it's the lowest possible vibration in terms of human experience, potentially. Yeah, but what I know about like the darker emotions is that with our openness and capacity to really go there with the darkest of human experiences, like the level of life force that unlocks in our beings is like through the roof. So maybe instead of worrying about shaming our children, like obviously doing this with awareness, but maybe there's something here which allows us to have step one, more authentic relationships with our children during the respectful parenting journey, which involve them seeing that we get annoyed, and then also if that means that they feel bad, then helping them to open to like this aspect of the human experience, because that's where we're at right now. We're not at a place where, or I'm not at a place where I can authentically all the time not be triggered. And so why am I pretending not to be triggered in order to parent respectfully, to protect my child from feeling shame, when energetically she can feel that I'm triggered anyway and it all just feels off? So why don't I allow her to see me in my triggered state and then support her to understand that her feeling bad is partly because, well, it is a part of the human experience. It's not partly, it is. It's a part of the human experience. And if I can support her to speak openly about how she's feeling and really open to the sensation of shame in her body, then that's really like a gateway for miracles. So why wouldn't I do that? Yeah. Deep and amazing. And maybe, yeah, I would love to know how this lands and how this feels. So if you're connected with me on social media, or you want to send me an email, my email is helen@helenreed.org, and I would love to hear how like any responses, any dialogue that you want to share around this podcast or any of them. And I think that's all for now, and I am sending loads of love. Bye.